Happy day, students. Today we are going to see Geography Lesson 3 Hydrologic Cycle. Learning objectives are we are going to understand the status of water on the earth. Next, to learn the basic concepts of hydrologic cycle. Basic concepts of hydrologic cycle. And the last one, to study the different components of hydrologic cycle. When compared to the previous lesson from geography, this lesson is somewhat small lesson only. So we can finish it as early as possible. Okay, and it is easiest lesson also. Yes, first introduction. Water is one of the most important elements on the earth. Water. We all know what is water. Without water, we can't survive, right? All plants and animals need water for survival. Not only humans, even plants and animals needs water for its survival. Apart from drinking, water is required for domestic, agriculture, industrial purpose, etc. So apart from drinking water, we need water for domestic purpose. Domestic purpose is household purpose. Okay, we use at home to take bath, to wash vessels, okay, to clean our house, okay, to wash something from our house, that is maybe our two-wheeler, our car, etc., etc., right? Okay, next, it is most useful for the agriculture. Okay, without water, agriculture is not possible, isn't it? Next, industrial purpose. In big industries, okay, manufacturing industries, water is very much essential, right? Okay. Next, water is very essential for carrying out almost all economic activities. So, water is an indispensable element without which life form on the earth is not possible. So, without water, it is impossible for anything else. Next, water on earth. About 71% of the earth's surface is covered by water. So, how many percent? 71% of the earth's surface is covered by water. Okay, next point. The quantity of water present on the earth is about 326 million cubic miles. So, the quantity of water present on the earth is how many? Is about 326 million cubic miles. Okay, it is hard to visualize this massive quantity of water. It is very hard for us to visualize, to see this massive quantity of water in the world. Most of the water on the earth is saline. Saline is salty. Okay, salty. Saline water. Most of the water on the earth is saline and is found in seas and oceans. Okay, we all know ocean water tastes what? Salty, isn't it? Saline. Okay. The salt water constitutes about 97.2% and the fresh water is 2.8%. So, the salt water constitute how many percent? Majority 97.2%, whereas the fresh water we have only 2.8%. Out of this, 2.8% and 2.2% is available as surface water and the remaining 0.6% as groundwater. Yes. From this, 2.2% of surface water 2.15% is available in the form of glaciers and ice caps, 0.01% in lakes and streams, and the remaining 0.04% is in other forms. So, water is present in our earth, okay, in different forms, in different percentage, okay, in the seas, oceans, lakes, streams, okay, like glaciers, ice caps, okay, right. Only about 0.2% of the total groundwater of 0.6% can be economically extracted with the present drilling technology. Fine. Next. Water resources are useful or potentially useful to human. So, water resources are useful for the human being, for us, isn't it? Yes. Water in India is available in three sources. So, in India, water is available in three sources. We will see what are they. First one is precipitation, second one is surface water, and third one is groundwater. Okay, we will see what are this. Okay, they have given this in picture, right? You can see this in page number 104 in your lesson, the very first page of the lesson. Okay, Earth's total water is 97.2%, right? You can see salt water is 97.2%, that is ocean water, got it? And out of this, see, fresh water is 2.8%, as we saw in the paragraph, and groundwater is 30.196, and ice caps and glaciers 68.7%. From this, others 0.9%, surface water is 0.3%. And here, swamps 11%, lakes 87%, and rivers only 2%. Okay. So, fresh water comes under here, and here surface water. Okay. So, water on the earth. Next, so here they have given a small estimation that is volume of water on the earth's surface. Okay, here you can see it as water source, volume of water in cubic miles they have given, okay, and percentage to total water. Ocean, seas and bays, ice caps, glaciers and permanent snow, groundwater, soil moisture, ground ice and permafrost. Okay, permafrost. Fine. Okay, next one is lakes, atmosphere, swamp water, rivers, biological water. So these are the water sources on our earth surface, and the volume of water in cubic miles, okay, and the percentage of water on it. Got it? Yes. Next, hydrologic cycle or water cycle. Hydrologic cycle is otherwise called as water cycle. Hydrology is the science which deals with the various aspects of water, such as its occurrence, distribution, movement and properties on the planet Earth. Availability of water on the earth is not uniform. So, the water is available all over the earth, whereas it is not uniform in all the places. Okay, some places are very rich in water and some places are poor in water resources. Okay, in some places we get abundant of water resources, whereas in some places water scarcities are there. Yes. Hydrologic cycle is a global sun-driven process where water is transported from ocean to atmosphere. Okay, so we'll see what is hydrologic cycle. Hydrologic cycle. Hydrologic cycle is a global sun-driven process. It's a global sun-driven process where what happen we'll see. Where water is transported from ocean to atmosphere. From ocean to atmosphere, water is getting transported. Okay, first one. Next, from atmosphere to land. From atmosphere to land. So, first water is transported from ocean to atmosphere. How? By evaporation, right? From atmosphere to land, how it comes, how the water comes back to the land from atmosphere? Through rain or snowdrops. Okay, next. From atmosphere to land and from land back to ocean. The water cycle can be considered as a closed system for the earth, as the quantity of water involved in the cycle is invariable, though its distribution varies over space and time. Evaporation takes place from the surface water and transpiration from the plants. So, evaporation takes place from the surface water and transpiration from the plants. Water vapor gets condensed at higher altitudes by condensation nuclei and form clouds. The clouds melt and sometimes burst, resulting in precipitation of different forms. A part of water from precipitation flows over the land is called runoff, and the other part infiltrates into the soil, which builds up the groundwater. Hydrologic cycle is a circulation of water. So, hydrologic cycle is what? Circulation of water. It is a continuous process and takes place naturally. So, hydrologic cycle takes place naturally. The three important phases of the hydrologic cycle are the three important phases. Okay, evapotranspiration, precipitation, and runoff. Okay, what are they? Evapotranspiration, precipitation, and runoff. Yes, so this is a picture which tells clearly about hydrologic cycle. So, what happens? So, here precipitation takes place, okay, from clouds, rainwater, okay, water is formed as rain, okay, and it slowly falls on the land, okay. It falls in the form of rain, also it falls in the form of snow, okay, the whiter one is snow, okay. So, it falls on the land, it gets filtration and it falls to the sea. From sea, plants and trees are observing the water content for itself, okay, for the plant purpose and tree purpose to grow, okay. Plant uptake is happening here, and evapotranspiration happens here. What is evapotranspiration? The water which is observed by plant and tree is getting evaporated through plant and trees, okay. That is called as what? Evapotranspiration. You can see it here, okay. Next, condensation is happening, okay. Condensation, so evaporation is happening through sunlight, okay. Yes, okay. Children, will just wind up to this. From next class, we shall start from components of hydrologic cycle. So, read the lesson. Take care. Thank you, children.